Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Annihilation. Right, really quick though, before we get into that, I want to say a quick thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. Thank you so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description box. So in Annihilation, a biologist husband disappears on a very mysterious expedition into an environmental disaster zone. Upon his very strange return, she puts her name forward for an expedition into that same disaster zone, but does not find what she's expecting. The expedition team is made up of the biologist played by Natalie Portman, an anthropologist, a psychologist, and a surveyor, and a linguist. And on their expedition, they find in this affected area, the laws of nature do not apply. I think the score is my favorite thing about this movie. It was amazingly done. It really set the tone for each scene. Like, it really did its job well. I just feel like it went above and beyond, especially during the really frightening scenes. I feel like I would have been a little bit scared or, creeped out with just the scene itself, but the music elevated it so much to the point where I was just like frozen in my seat in terror, and I think it had very much to do with the score. I also really liked the creatures, I guess you could say. I have to be careful with what I say because I don't know what, I honestly don't know what would be considered giving anything away because I haven't watched a trailer. I'm pretty sure you see the bear in the trailer though. It's like the scully looking thing. I'm pretty sure you see that in the trailer. That was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. Like, obviously most of this is done in CGI, but it looks really good. The creatures still looked really good. And the idea around them was petrifying. So with the bear, it's like roar, like the sound it would normally make as a bear, is the sound of its last victim, I guess. So when it opens its mouth, you hear this human scream. There's one particular scene with this bear, which I won't talk about because I feel like that will be giving stuff away. So I won't give details, but it was the scariest scene in the movie for me. If you've seen it, maybe you know what I'm talking about. I also really liked the cast of characters. Obviously Natalie Portman did a really good job. I think she's a great actor. And there were a lot of new faces that I had not seen before. So the expedition team that goes in is entirely made up of women. It was really nice to see, I feel like they could have easily, just kind of gone the route of casting a bunch of well-known faces sort of thing, but I'm glad they didn't do it. I think it definitely added to the movie. And the cinematography and the camera work were amazing. Like I said, the cinematography mostly is computer generated, at least in terms of the set and things. There's a lot going on. I don't want to get into specifics, like I said, because I don't know what would be considered spoiling anything. It was amazing. I liked the camera work. I really liked how the camera separated the expedition team. There's a disconnect between the characters. And obviously, especially between Natalie Portman's character and everybody else's character, because she kind of throws herself into the expedition after what happens with her husband. She wasn't, she didn't even know about the affected area. She didn't know anything about what her husband was doing, that sort of thing. So she just kind of throws herself in. And whenever these women are having a conversation, within the shimmer, the camera just has them all separate, so it's bouncing back and forth between 4 or 5 different people. They all kind of have slightly different reasons for going in So I think the camera really drives that home by keeping them separate. Like they're not a cohesive group. Kind of bouncing off of what I just said, I didn't really feel connected to any of the characters at all, even Natalie Portman's character. So that kind of made it difficult at certain parts in the movie because I didn't feel a connection to any of them. So ultimately I didn't really care what happened to them. Right after Natalie Portman finds out about what her husband was doing, and she finds out about this shimmer and things like that, and she is staying at the base or whatever for this research facility that's conducting the expeditions into the shimmer. It's called Southern Reach, which is the name of the trilogy of books that this is based on. She is staying there and she meets these group of females, and the subject comes up that they are all going into the shimmer. And literally the line that Natalie Portman says in reaction to this is, I don't have the exact line, but she is just like, all women. Like that, literally she says something to that effect. Either she says like all women or like a team of women or something like that in reaction to finding that out. And this is probably gonna sound so weird, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I totally get it, because I feel like I don't know how to articulate this feeling well, but I didn't like that. So I'm gonna try and go through my thoughts in order here. So when we have like expedition, kind of like what I would call end of the world movies, which this really, it's not really an end of the world movie. But stuff like, I kind of lump this in with stuff like, you know, like The Core or something like that, where it's like based around like, you know, it's like a team of people come together and you have like that team dynamic and they're going into some dangerous area and things like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? That type of movie. So normally when we have this type of movie, the team is never all women, like ever. I can't think of a single movie like this where we have like a team of people, an expedition going to somewhere dangerous where it's all women. That's great that the team is all women, and as far as I know in the book, at least just from what I've read of the back of the book, it is all women in the book also. So that's great. I think that's great. I've never seen a movie where it's, you know, the expedition team has been all women. I'm here for it. I'm down for it. But I feel like that line, I feel like that was the filmmakers trying to force feed, like, you know, just in case you didn't notice, the team is all women. In case you didn't understand what was just said, the team is all women. And it just felt a little bit like they were making a statement almost that didn't need to be made. I feel like the film would have spoken for itself. You know, people would have noticed like, hey, this is all women going in. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of defeats the purpose if you're just gonna throw it in our faces like so obviously. Like we can see that it's all women going in. Like did we need to throw that line in? It was just one little line, maybe like 3 words max, and I was just like, I don't know, it just took me out of the movie a little bit. I was kind of just like, I don't know, it just felt a little pretentious, maybe is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Especially given the fact that in the book, the expedition team is all women. So it's like, come on film, you're not really doing this story any favors by doing that. You're just following the book. Like this wasn't your decision. And last thing is, despite the fact that I found this movie like visually stunning, I loved the music, strangely, I don't have a desire to watch this again. And I don't want, I know I just kind of like ranted for a little bit, and I don't want you to take away like that one little line is the whole reason why I don't want to watch it again. That's not the reason. I feel like I watched it and I just don't have a desire to, it's kind of like Mother. Like when I saw Mother, like I really enjoyed it. And I liked the message that I got out of it, at least. I liked, you know, my interpretation of it, and I liked how it made me feel. But I don't have a desire to watch it again. Like I thought it was a good movie, like it was done well. I thought the acting was good, but I just don't have like I watched it once and I feel like that's all I needed to watch it. Same thing with Annihilation. Like the performances were good, everything looked great. I just feel like I don't feel like I need to watch it again. So was Annihilation worth it? I'm gonna say yes and no. I feel like this movie is probably not for everybody. It's not as like black and white as Mother, you know, like now that I've mentioned it, so I've got to compare it to Mother now, I guess. When Mother came out, it was very solidly like you're either gonna really not like this movie or you're gonna like it. It's like one or the other, there's no in between. Annihilation, it's kind of the same way. Maybe it's not as controversial or anything as Mother was, I guess. But yeah, I feel like it's not for everybody. But I feel like the people that are gonna enjoy this movie are really gonna enjoy this movie. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I feel like I was super shell-shocked after I saw the movie. My patrons know what I'm talking about because they get exclusive vlogs of my first impression when I go see a new release. They unfortunately were subject to my jumbled thoughts after seeing the movie because I really didn't know how I felt. But after I've had time to let the movie like settle and I've had time to process it a little bit, the kind of shock and awe that I felt in the theater is slowly wearing off. On IMDb, it has a 7.9 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 86% critic score and a 66% audience score. And Roger Ebert gives it a 3.4 out of 5. So, you know, definitely don't take my word for it on this one. I feel like a lot of you guys will probably go watch this and probably enjoy it. All right, so if you've seen Annihilation, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And if you've read the book, let me know what you thought about that also. Let me know if it's worth reading. From what I understand, it's kind of a different format than what the movie was. It's like journal entries from the biologist. If you've read the book, let me know if that's correct. So I might be interested in reading it. Let me know, you know. I don't know. As always, you can find me on all the normal social media places. The links for those are in the description box. You can also find me on my blog at nightmaremaven.com, on morbidlybeautiful.com as a contributing writer, and on their YouTube page as a contributing host. And you can find me at patreon.com/nightmaremaven if you want to check that out and support the channel. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.